All right, everybody, we're going to get started on this live. I'm going to jump right to the point. This is regarding the 75 Heart Mind Strength Challenge that is starting on January 5th. However, you guys will receive the workouts and the nutrition plan and all of that on Sunday, January 4th. So I'm going to do some questions and answers tonight. If you guys have any questions, you can start dropping them in the chat at any time. But I did get some from uh, Facebook, the group there, from some of the ladies who are already in the challenge. And just so you guys know, the digital download for the journal is now available. I was not going to make it available, but so many people have been asking me to make it available. So I did. And I put the link for the journal in the chat. And I also put a link for the challenge in the chat if you're not signed up for the challenge. So first of all, let me just do a quick little, what is the 75 Heart Mind Strength Challenge? If you've heard of 75 Hard, then this is kind of like that. But 75 Hard is just a challenge of 75 days with two different types of workouts, one 45-minute workout in the morning or at some point in the day, and then another 45-minute workout where you're outside. So the second one has to be outside. And the person who invented the 75 Hard, they also challenge you to just do some sort of nutrition program. And that's all great. And then they tell you to read a book, like read 10 pages a day of a book for 75 days. This one is specifically tailored to the Christian worldview, where we want to get in shape, but we also want to incorporate spiritual disciplines into the challenge. And so I do that by reading through the whole book of John. And we're also reading Jen Wilkins' book, None Like Him, that complements the book of John, because John's gospel really focuses on the deity of Christ. And so Jen goes through the different characteristics and nature of God and why he's different from us and unlike us, starting with like the fact that he's an infinite, all-knowing being and we're not. And so we're limited and finite. He's infinite. It's a great book. I already read it. It's so good. So throughout the 75 days, we're reading one book. We're reading the book of John, the Gospel of John. In the journal, I put questions for you guys every single day, like 3 questions tailored to that passage of scripture. So I already have that outlined for you. I already have all the workouts for the week for you. You get to pick your nutrition program. And so a lot of that is what we're talking about tonight, is nutrition. Now, first things first, if you did not listen to my podcast episode yet this week, episode 321 on the Her Faith Inspires podcast, it's not here on YouTube yet. It should be up tomorrow or Wednesday. Go to any podcast platform and listen to that, because a lot of those questions will be answered for you. Kind of dive deep on nutrition and why you need to maybe not diet. I'm not a fan of diets, although diets work. But diets work, but as soon as you go off the diet, you're going to gain your weight back, because diets restrict. And I can't stand it when people restrict something from their diet that they want. There's something to be said about healthy choices, but restricting something overall is just not the best way to live, really. Because I have some non-negotiables for my food and what I like, what I enjoy, that just make me look forward to something in the middle of the day, like a snack or something. I'll talk to you about that as well as we get on here, get through this. So, of course, that's the 75 Heart Mind Strength Challenge. I'm not just telling you, let's get in shape. I'm helping you create spiritual disciplines. We have to be disciple. The word disciple and discipline are linked because they have the same root word. So to be a disciplined follower of Christ, we don't just focus on our physical body. We go back to Matthew 22:37. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And that's what this challenge does specifically. It doesn't cost anything to sign up. I just like to work out and I like to read, and I like to read my Bible and serve God. So I'm like, let's all do it together. I've been working out for over 10 years, doing CrossFit, healthy eating. So this is what I kind of do as part of my lifestyle. So it works well with what I talk about all the time with worldview. So somebody wanted to know, how to keep this from becoming legalistic, that's up to you. I can't tell you not to make this legalistic. I mean, yeah, we're talking about spiritual disciplines, things that we want to do daily, but it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. You won't have a perfect 75 days. You will have a bad day and there are maybe a couple bad days. It doesn't mean you're, a failure. You just need to pick up the next day where you left off and make that day the best that you can. If you become legalistic about it, it's going to be really, really frustrating mentally for you because if it's like if I don't read my Bible today, I failed. Well, no, because God, you're putting too much faith into the work of Bible reading. That could be a mental struggle at times, but you're going to have those check-ins. Could this become legalistic? Everything can become legalistic. So again, that's on you to make sure that I'm not saying these things save you, like reading your Bible, you have to read it or you're not saved. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that as Christians, we should be some of the most disciplined people because God gave us a book to read. And so spiritual disciplines are embedded into the worldview of being a Christian. Okay. So, how do we cultivate that? It's the same thing with any discipline. You do it whether you feel like it or not. But if I don't feel like it, I don't quit. I do it the next day as best as I can. And again, you have to take the good days with the bad days and just pick up the next day where you left off. I love the verse. God reminds us of this. His mercies are new every morning. Every morning we get a fresh start, a new day, get back on the horse and try it again. Okay. So spiritual disciplines matter. They don't save you. You got to keep that in your head and balance that. So don't make it legalistic. It shouldn't be. What supplies do I need? You need a study Bible. Um, I have lots of Bibles in my house in different versions. I recommend the ESV study Bible, but that's up to you. What kind of, what format you want. The NLT is a little bit of a paraphrase Bible, but at the same time, you can find a study Bible with that, so it's a little bit easier to read. I think the grade level for the NLT is about 6th grade, 7th grade. So if you find your newer to Bible reading, I would do that. ESV is about 10th, 11th grade reading level. So if you want the challenge of the words, I think ESV is word for word translation. So go with ESV, but really it's a personal choice. Brianna said, "Good evening. I started the Jen Wilkin book. It's so good, and I'm glad that you like it." Oh, you're already on chapter 8? Well, good. I mean, I read it already too, so I'll go back through. I highlight. So I'll go back throughout the challenge and look at what I highlighted and what had stood out and what I kind of dove deeper on. But it's Jen Wilkin, just so you guys know, a little plug for Jen Wilkin. I don't know her and never met her, but she is one of the best communicators when she writes. And I'm also doing a Proverbs study where she's one of the contributors. And she's one of my favorites. So she's just so good. She dives deep. She gives you things to think on. So this is why I picked this book for this challenge. So you do need the ESV study Bible or a women's study Bible or a study Bible that you like. And then the Jen Wilkin book, None Like Him, if you're going to read it. Now, this is where my little caveat comes in. If you're in the phase of life where you're like, I can't read anything else. I just can't. I want to do the workouts and I want to read my Bible. Don't get the book. But if you're going to do all of the above, get the study Bible and the Jen Wilkin None Like Him book. And you can get the journal. You don't have to have the journal and you don't have to have social media. Okay. So if you want the journal and you didn't buy it, I put the digital option in the chat. You can go get it. Okay. It is a very great companion to have because I'll email you every Sunday with all the week's assignments and workouts, but it's going to be printed in that journal as well. So you could see it right there. Has a checklist. Did I drink my water today? Did I do my workout today? Read my Bible, etc. It keeps you on track. And then it has questions again for the passage of scripture that I assigned for that day. Every day there's reading and there's questions to go with the reading. So it's going to be a little bit of a deeper dive. And that's what I love about it. Okay. Yes, I'll go back to the beginning. Yeah, you can. Yeah, yeah, she's great. You can go back to the beginning if you want to, or just it's going to be fun either way. Really those are the only supplies that you need. I recommend a water bottle. I have my little mason jar right here because I'm at home and I'm drinking water right now. Um, you will need weights with the workouts, like dumbbells is what I mean. Because if your goal is to gain weight or to lose weight or gain muscle, lose weight, excuse me, then weights are the key to both anyway. I really wanna challenge those of you whose mind is stuck on this cardio mentality where you always want to run or, get on the treadmill, get on the stair stepper, get on a bike. I love cardio too because I like to move fast and feel my heart beating fast, but cardio will strengthen your heart and the heart is a muscle, it will strengthen that, but weights will transform your body. Okay, weights transform your body. So you do need both, but cardio is not going to help you gain muscle. If you're only going to work out with cardio, you won't gain muscle. That's the way it goes. That's just the way it is. Um, hold on, I'm looking at the things. Lindsay, I believe I saw one of your posts or emails said to think about how to get more protein in on our diet. How do we figure out the right amount of protein we should shoot for? That is a great question. There is a way to figure it out and calculate it because every gram of protein is worth so many calories. You could Google that and look it up. I don't think you should. And here's why. I'm going to give you a baseline. If you look at my Fitness Pal, which is one of the apps I use all the time if I really want to track, and I counted macros for 3 years. So I can pretty much tell you how much fat is in a whole egg. I can tell you how much protein is in a whole egg, how much protein is in an egg white, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But what I really want you to do is you can use my Fitness Pal throughout this challenge if you want to count the grams of protein. I would say, Lindsay, for you, try to get 105 to 115 at least a day. If you're not used to taking in 80 grams of protein, 100 grams of protein a day, that's going to be tough at first. And you may not get there right away, and that's okay. Push for it as the days go on, and you'll get there. Like macronutrient counting, it takes about a week or two to adjust, and then your body adjusts to it. Um, so I would say the baseline for every woman, I think I put 100 grams of protein every day for every woman in the challenge. But I would say if you're really, really wanting to pinpoint and get that protein more dialed in, I would shoot for baseline 115, to be honest. Now, this is where that's the hardest thing out of all the macronutrients and all the nutrition. Protein is everyone's challenge. I don't know if anybody's like, I got my protein down. How would I get more fat in? Nobody says that. I've never heard anybody say that. Maybe if you're a nutritionist and you work with people all the time, they might hear that. I never see that anywhere ever. Same with carbs. People don't have any trouble with carbs and fats. The protein is going to be found in eggs. It's going to be found in your meats like chicken breast, chicken thighs. I'm not afraid to eat chicken thighs or like drumsticks, salmon, any kind of fish, tuna, venison, ground beef. I eat a lot of ground beef. I eat 93.7. That's my percentage that I like. That doesn't give you a lot of extra fattiness for like burgers or something that you might want a little bit more grease for, but I'm used to 93.7. And that's about 20 grams of protein and 4 ounces. So I like that. It's probably about 8 to 10 grams of fat, something like that. But I wouldn't worry so much about my fats first. I'd worry more about my protein intake because your muscles have to be fed and it's going to grow with the protein, with the protein that you eat. We're probably not going to get all of that protein in with like naturally with meats and breakfast and stuff. I also am a bacon eater. I eat bacon almost every single morning. My breakfast is the same. Every morning I eat the same things. I eat 3 egg whites because I don't like yolk. If I were you guys and I had to incorporate, I wanted to incorporate a whole egg, I would do like one whole egg and 2 egg whites. That's going to give you Just with the egg itself, it's going to give you about 12 to 15 grams of protein, and then if you add any bacon into it, like, I usually eat 3 to 4 slices of bacon, 3 egg whites with some guacamole, like avocado for breakfast, and then I also eat steel cut oats with that. That sounds like a huge breakfast, and it is because it lasts me for a few hours before I want something else, but I got had to get used to that, so I eat a lot of protein right after the gym first thing in the morning. Your body has to get used to certain things and taking in certain amounts, but you're training your body just as much as you're training your mind. And you do train your body with food. You know, your body has to get used to some ways of eating. So, but you're going to need a protein shake because you probably won't take in all of that protein and just like I said, meats and eggs. So find a protein shake that you like to drink. I don't tell anybody what kind of protein to drink because you may not like my protein shake recommendation. I am very, very picky about my protein shakes. Um, because I think if they have that chemically aftertaste, bleh, I'm not drinking it. Like I can't hang it. I can't hang with it. I cannot even dilute the taste with like a banana or peanut butter, forget it. But make your protein shake like a dessert. If you have a sweet tooth, throw a banana in there, like I usually throw PB2. It's not peanut butter, but it's like the powdered peanut butter. So much less fat, but a peanut butter taste. Like, you will taste the peanut butter with it. So, I get PB2 and put that in there, some oats if I need it, but a banana will really sweeten that up and it tastes like a shake. I usually get, like, a vanilla or a chocolate flavor. Right now, my protein powder is BUM, BUM. You can get it at Walmart. I think there's oatmeal cookie is vanilla oatmeal cookie, something like that is the one that I like, but sometimes I'm always switching my protein powders because I get sick of them after a while. And then the RX bars, they only have 5 to 6 ingredients. They score very well on, like, a nutrition app. They have 10 grams of protein, and they're made with figs. I like the vanilla almond one, so that's another 10 grams. So if you were to eat your protein shake and your protein bar for a snack at the same time, you're gonna get at least 35 grams of protein in, and then, count up your breakfast and all of that. I'm not really gonna count my macros, but I am mindful of my protein intake, and once you get used to how much you take in, you start to just find a rhythm to it, and you don't have to count so much because I've hit my numbers for the day, and I'm not gonna worry about my fats. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't eat a lot of fatty things that are like bad fats. I eat avocado. I have whole milk for my lattes because I need the fat, so I don't mind having whole milk as my fats. And I think the ratio of fat to protein in whole milk is pretty similar. I like the protein intake of whole milk. That's why it's like 8 to 10 grams in a cup. So that's why I like whole milk. And then it gives me the fats that I need. So my fats are in a certain category. They count pretty much as good fats, olive oil. Like I said, avocado, I'll eat string cheese, nuts. Like, they're just really good for us as we age anyways. You don't wanna skimp on the fats, your body needs them. So, that's what I mean by I don't really worry about it. If I'm hungry and I want almonds and cashews and cranberry like, dried cranberries, that's, like, my go-to mix-up. I'll have that, but I'll have a serving of it. I won't have, like, a bag of it because nuts are fats, and they just will add up. Um, so I hope that that helps on the protein. You start thinking now if when we start on Monday, you don't wanna be going to the grocery store Monday like, "What am I gonna get today?" Like, plan your meals ahead. I always write out my meal plan on Sunday, go buy my groceries or add it to Walmart and do Walmart store pickup, but I know what I'm eating Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on Sunday. I already know what my week looks like for food. I already have it planned out. I know if I'm running out of steel cut oats, if I need to go buy more. So start thinking now so you know where to plug in salmon, you know where to plug in chicken breast, and the key to success for anything, even this challenge, is preparing ahead. So, um, I would suggest doing that now. And if you guys need any more suggestions on like, what do I eat? What else do I need to get? Just let me know. But for me, the snacks are the hardest. Like, I like to snack. So as long as I have snack ideas, that's super helpful. Um, let me see something. Yeah, if you haven't worked out in 5 years, and you're going to, other than walking, um, then you're going to be sore as soon as you incorporate any kind of dumbbells or weights. That's okay. Soreness isn't bad. You don't want to have pain. You don't want to be like something like I tore a muscle, but to have muscle fatigue and muscle like pain is, well, let me say that differently. Soreness, not pain. If you have muscle soreness, that's absolutely normal. And you're going to want to give it like a week and your muscles will start to get used to it again. And you'll feel better. But you guys are going to have to understand, if you don't use a lot of weights or work out this way, when you do lunges, if you do lunges today and you haven't done lunges in 2 years or 6 months or maybe 2 months, you're going to feel it tomorrow. And most of the time, it's the second day of soreness that's the worst. So it's always the second day for me. So just give it time. Your body will adjust to it. Sarah said, I just made a meal plan with Chat GPT for breakfast, lunch, and snack and told it the protein and fiber content I wanted. And it gave you, yes. Thank you, Sarah. That is, yes. Chat GPT will do that as well. And you can even tell it, like, when you make me my meal plan, I don't like spinach or I don't like chicken or whatever. Do not incorporate that into my meal plan and it will take it out for you. So Chat GPT is a great resource for that as well. Let me see. I just saw some more, but I can't find it. Okay. Yeah. So use Chat GPT. Um, what supplies? Journal, already mentioned that. It's in the link to the journals in the chat if you didn't get it. Are we getting demos of the movements? Okay, no. I'm not going to, I could not do that. There's so many different movements in there. Sometimes we do repeat some of the workouts, but not a lot. If you don't know the proper way to do a squat, now you're not going to get an email about that. I might put that in Facebook group because it's easy. And there's been a lot of comments and questions and posts in the Facebook group, but some of you don't have social media and I don't blame you, and that's totally fine. You don't have to have it. But if you don't know how to do a proper squat, you are going to need to look that up. And you could easily do that by a proper squat form in YouTube, and it will show you a demo. And just when you're going to do certain things where you're putting weight on your back or you're holding on to it, you're going to need to put your weight in your heels and go down below parallel. But if you're not used to that, form is so much more important than the how heavy you're going. Don't worry about the heaviness of the weights first, worry about the form first. So again, look up any of these, move. If you're like, I have never heard of this movement before, Google it and get the proper form and technique, and then that's going to help you. But yeah, there's just no way that I could give a demo for everything. What if I miss a day? If you miss a day, try not to miss any, but if you miss a day, then pick up the next day. So it's like the main thing is do not quit. There are so many people like, look, Monday, you guys are going to be gung ho. I mean, you guys are already gung ho. I get emails and comments and questions and DMs all the time right now, and it's to be expected. The challenge is going to start, and that's going to die down week 2. I teach online all the time with online Christian courses, and people are so ready week 2, week 1, week 2. And after that, I'm like, hey, where are you? Come on, let's go. So the number one thing is just don't quit. Like, finish strong. You will start strong because you're motivated. Keep that burst going in the middle and finish it. You'll be so, so happy that you do, because time's going to go by. Like, the 75 days is going to go by, whether you're doing the challenge or whether you're not. But when you get to the 75 days and I say, congratulations, you finished it, and you quit at week, like day 30, you're going to be bummed. I'm like, man, I would have been done by now. So just don't quit. If you miss a day, get back on tomorrow and do the thing. Okay. Human body is built for heavy lifting. Deadlift, squat, or leg press is a must. My knees always hurt with squats, so I deadlift and leg press. Yeah, modify if you have to. Like, if you find that your knees hurt, my brother has sore knees too whenever he tries to do squats, so he really can't anymore, but he'll do wall sits instead. So just find out what works for you, what your body limitations are, because I can't read all of those or modify for all of those things. But if you email me, somebody emailed me today and said that she broke her ankle 2 weeks ago and she signed up for the challenge before that, broke her ankle 2 weeks ago. I was like, what am I going to do now? Do you think I can do anything? And I gave her some arm exercises and I say, work your upper body, do some core, and make sure you keep your stretching and mobility because it's going to help you recover, but stay off that foot and listen to your doctor. So are there things that we can do? Yes, absolutely. What's your recommendation for a weighted vest? Okay, that one's tough. Natalie, I know Natalie personally, by the way. Um, I bought a weighted vest over the summer and I absolutely love it. Tomorrow is my walking day with my weighted vest, but I went heavy. I went 20 pounds. And at first I was like, whoa, what the heck was I thinking? But now I'm used to it, but it took me a little bit. Like it was heavy bear. It was like heavy here. Don't forget, it's like it's going to weigh down since it's up here. It's going to put pressure on your back and your lower back too. So I would start off lighter. There are some vests where you can add weights and you can take the weights out, especially the ones that we use in CrossFit where people do like the Murph with it and stuff. They can take out the little weight plates. You might want to get something like that to where as you build up the endurance and the strength, you can start to add the plates back in. Otherwise, you might be buying, a couple different weighted vests. But I would start off with about 10 pounds. And then once I got used to that, add a couple more every couple of weeks. And that will be helpful with you guys for sure. Pretty well integrate with the need for 100 grams of protein. Yeah, women especially need at least 100 grams, even if you're not working out, because you're going to lose muscle we're going to lose muscle over time anyways. What if my schedule is crazy or I'm exhausted? If your schedule is crazy, you may not be able to do every single part of the challenge. Like I said, if you're a mom with young babies at home, you may not be able to do your Bible reading and the book at the same time. So I would take out the book, but I'd keep obviously the Bible. Like you should make the Bible the priority. And then if you can only give 30 minutes to working out, then just keep some dumbbells in your living room and do the workout. You should be able to do these workouts in your living room. I made sure I didn't put anything that would make you have to use a rowing machine or any kind of gym equipment. So do what's practical. If you're just exhausted, this is another thing I didn't talk about in the journal, and I didn't put a check mark for, and I should have. But recovery is extremely important. You should focus on not just the goal of all of these disciplines, but getting enough sleep at night. Like if you don't have enough sleep at night, you won't properly recover and it's not going to help you. Your body won't respond like it should throughout the challenge. So for me, if I let myself sleep until I wanted to wake up, I would need 9 hours. That's like usually what I do. Like if I'm like, tomorrow's Saturday and nobody wake me up, I'm going to sleep 9 hours. That's what my body does. But I can function very well off 8. So, but if we're getting 7 or lower, forget it. Like by the end of the day, I'm like, nobody talk to me. I'm exhausted. Just because I need a certain amount of hours of sleep to function and your body recovers in the middle of the night. That's why if you weighed yourself, which I don't recommend, if you weighed yourself at night, 8 or 9, and then you wake up the next morning and you weigh yourself, you're going to weigh a couple pounds less in the morning because your food's digesting, your body's recovering, your body's just doing its thing while you're asleep. So we need to make sure we give it the rest that it needs as well. So we shouldn't really be exhausted. I mean, I feel like I'm just so exhausted. I can't read my Bible today, or I can't work out today, or I can't do what I need to do to steward the body well. Then we need to cut something out, or we need to make sure we're focusing more on recovery. Spotify Premium, the book is included in membership. Oh, cool. If you guys have Spotify Premium, then get the book there as well. Okay. Can I adapt this for injuries or seasons of life? Yes, we talked about that. And why do I think this challenge matters? Uh, okay, I think this challenge matters. Like I said, it's free. I'm not benefiting from this in the sense of like I'm not charging people to do the challenge is what I'm saying. If you bought the journal, that's because we have people who created it and it's getting shipped. So that's why there's a cost to the journal. But as far as why I think the challenge itself matters is because, again, I don't know. I'm sure there are challenges out there that incorporate mind, body, and soul. Matthew 22:37, Jesus said to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, right? And there's a lot of challenges that start at the beginning of the year that only focus on the physical appearance. And that's it. Getting in shape and getting healthy, the body. But Paul says also in the New Testament that outwardly we are perishing, but inwardly we are being renewed day by day. He says in First Corinthians that we are the temple of the Holy Spirit. So all those things working together show that we are disciplined followers of the Lord, and we're incorporating all of these things, these spiritual disciplines and physical disciplines, into this challenge, so that hopefully you get off on the right foot in 2026, the first 75 days. But also it's something that you can carry through even when you're done doing it with me. Because when you walk through things like this with people who've been there before or who have created the spiritual disciplines, I can tell you what works, what doesn't work, and how to keep going and how to maintain this afterwards. And once you learn it, you can help somebody else do it. So I think it matters because it doesn't just focus on one aspect of our lives. It focuses on the whole person. And that is how the Christian worldview or any worldview is formed. It's a whole person perspective on life. So that's why I think it matters. What do I use for protein intake? Okay, I already answered that one, but I'm trying to think of if there's anything else that I need to talk to you guys about. I don't have anything else here. One of the things I do want to mention is the key ingredient to this challenge is consistency. So even if you miss a day or you miss a workout or a Bible day of the plan, like a Bible reading, it doesn't mean that you have failed. It just means you keep up with consistency. I made Sundays a rest day where there's no workouts. Doesn't mean you're taking a break from the Bible. I mean, and I think a lot of you guys go to church, so you'll have that, but there's no workouts on Sunday. Your body needs to rest. Like, it doesn't need to move every single day. And if one day you just like, I'm going to walk and I'm going to pray and I'm not going to, I'm not going to put my body through a lot of weight lifting and stuff because I need it to rest, then listen to your body and do that. But at least you're still moving it, and you wear the weighted vest as the extra challenge. But consistency is key. It's key in everything. It's showing up, it's staying committed. Consistency does all of those things. If you're not committed, you're not consistent. If you don't, if you show up on day 1, but you don't show up on day 30, you're not consistent. So the consistency of planning and preparing and putting all of these things into practice is gonna be what changes you. And it's not just transformation of the body, it's transformation of the heart and soul as well. Okay? All right. So I think that that's it. If you guys have any other questions, you can email me at hello@shandafulbright.com, and I will be happy to answer those. If you have an injury or something, you're like, what can I do? Or how do I tailor this towards that? Then again, email me and I'll see what I can do. Other than that, I think that's it for today. Again, email me if you have other questions that I didn't get to. All right. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you soon.